Hello, Phillip. This is Jillian from Big Peach Midtown, and this is your baseline video from the Transform Running Workshop on April 15th. We are just reviewing what our current running tendencies are. We shot this video right as we were getting the workshop started, and we are going to be applying the principles of putting pill into practice, posture, lean, and landing to help prevent overstriding, and applying that to what your current running tendencies are. Let's take a look at your footage at regular speed. Alright, and reviewing, excellent energy, and reviewing the footage in slow motion, we're going to go over a few of the key elements, mostly focusing on posture, a little bit on whether or not we're engaging the body in a proper forward lean, and then landing. So starting off, I'll give you a little bit of leeway here since we are kind of stepping off of a ledge, but just making sure that you start off the run as often as possible by leaning forward from the ankles and not looking down, keeping the chin out of the chest, which we're doing for the most part as you got started. We're doing an okay job on. We wanted to see less of that, less of this here, and more of what you end up doing as you got warmed up and got a little bit more comfortable with the run. Having the eyes straight ahead, looking towards the horizon, keeping the chin out of the chest. Going down to the shoulders, make sure you're keeping those relaxed and rolled away from the ears. And more specifically, make sure that we're pulling the elbows back consistently as we pump our arms, coordinating our opposite arm with our opposite leg, which we actually got going on here. Very good. So what we don't want to have happen too often is what we see here, and that arm crossing over that center line. I get that we were making a nice powerful turn at that point, but just going forward, make sure that you are aware that crossing over that arm over the midline can create twisting of the torso that we don't want. That can cause the body to work a little bit harder than necessary to move itself forward while running. Alright. Making sure we're keeping the hands loose, keeping the thumbs up and the fingers out. It's going to be a key small element that we can address as well. And the positive aspect of your run as you got started is that we do have more or less, we got a good forward lean orientation for the most part. But what ends up in the torso, we got the forward lean, but what ends up contradicting that and cutting down on the efficacy of that forward lean is the fact that we do have some overstriding. So we've got the lower body oriented forward, oriented backwards. We've got the upper body oriented forwards, and we've got our center of gravity more or less pulling back from both the torso and the lower body. And most egregiously, we have a landing tendency that does not take advantage of the natural shock absorbing process of landing with a bent knee. Got to protect that knee. That's the main evil of overstriding. That's one of the most frequent injuries we will see, are knee injuries. And we definitely want to avoid that. That's the biggest amount of joint pain that we want to address, as you addressed on your info sheet. And at the end of the day, I think the most consistent and I think the most dramatic change for you is going to come from the simplest change, which will just be shortening your stride, a very powerful stride throughout the entirety of the run as you remarked yourself. So take more steps, quicker steps, practice with your cadence, download that metronome app, and practice with that. See about increasing your cadence from, example, 160 steps per minute to 165, and each week and getting yourself adjusted to that higher cadence. And I think you'll see the greatest progress from there. Training your body to maintain that power, maintain a forward lean, and maintain a consistent forefoot strike. Should yield some immediate and surprising and fun benefits for you. There you have it, Philip. Thank you so much for your energy during the Transform Running Workshop on April 15th.